Only in Britain could these things exist, from Bovril to blokes in tracksuits tucked into socks. Here are 15 British habits so ridiculous they honestly should be illegal. Number 1. Putting milk in tea before the water. There's a moment of pure panic when you see someone do it. Kettle still rumbling, mug sitting there half empty, and in goes the milk first, just straight in. The color goes this strange gray, the bag floats to the top looking like it's given up, and everyone in the room stops breathing for a second. People will swear there's a reason for it, something about protecting the flavor or how my nan always did it. But really, it's chaos disguised as tradition. You can't trust a person who pours milk first. They're capable of anything. You can spot them at work by the way the tea never looks right. It's either too pale or too strong, like it's been brewed in despair. And they always say, "Oh, I quite like it that way," which somehow makes it worse. Every office, every family has one. They wait until no one's looking, milk in hand, ready to commit the crime. The rest of us pretend we didn't see, but we did. We always do. Number 2. Bovril. There's no polite way to describe Bovril. It's beef, in a mug, hot. That's it. Somehow, at some point, someone looked at a Sunday roast and thought, you know what this needs? Drinking. And instead of laughing, everyone agreed. Now we've got entire generations who think sipping liquid cow essence at a football match is completely normal. You see it mostly in winter. Blokes in scarves, hands wrapped round those little plastic cups, steam rising, faces glowing like they've discovered life's secret. And fair play, it does smell oddly comforting, like gravy that's been through something traumatic. The worst part is when people try to sell it as a acquired taste. That's just British for no one else will touch it. But we still drink it because it's tradition and because deep down we're too stubborn to admit it's weird. Every country has its quirks, but only Britain could turn a cow into a cuppa and call it comfort. Number 3. Chav tracksuits tucked into socks. You could spot them a mile off. Shiny tracksuit, one size too big, socks pulled up like armor. Usually Adidas, sometimes Umbro if times were tough, and always that swagger like the estate was their kingdom. There was an art to it, the perfect tuck. Too high and you looked daft, too low and you lost street cred. Laces untied, gold chain glinting, bit of Lynx Africa, in the air so strong it could stun wildlife. You knew the type. And somehow it never died out. The fashion magazines moved on, music changed, but somewhere in Britain there's always a lad in a full tracksuit, socks pulled tight, claiming he's just nipping shop. It's almost impressive how bulletproof the look is. You can't kill it with trends or logic. It's become folklore at this point, passed down like a family heirloom. Every generation gets its own version, just slightly shinier. Number 4. Permed mullets. There was a time when people walked around genuinely proud of having 2 different haircuts on the same head. Business up front, party out back. That was the mullet. And if that wasn't enough, we went and permed it. Barbers didn't even blink. You'd sit down, ask for a bit of curl at the back, and they'd nod like it was the most reasonable request in the world. Out came the rollers, the chemicals, the smell that lingered longer than your dignity. You'd see them everywhere. Builders, pop stars, uncles at weddings. Wind blowing through the front, curls bouncing at the back like a tribute to bad decisions. It was a look that said, I own 1 leather jacket and too much confidence. What's worse is how it's sneaking back. Younger lads calling it retro, pretending it's ironic. But you can't wear a permed mullet ironically. It wears you. Give it a few months and we'll all be pretending we didn't laugh the first time round. Still, there's something comforting about it. Proof that no matter how much style evolves, Britain will always find new ways to look proudly ridiculous. Number 5. Live, laugh, love wall signs. You'd walk into certain houses and see it straight away, that scripted font painted across the wall like gospel. Live, laugh, love. Usually above the sofa, sometimes in the hallway if things had really got out of hand. It always seemed to appear overnight. One day the wall was plain, the next it had a personality crisis. Then came the matching bits, candles in bird cages, fake flowers that never aged, maybe a throw cushion that whispered something like, "Dream big," or "Home is where the heart is." No one ever admitted to buying them, they just appeared like suburban fungus. And once one person had it, everyone else did too. B&Q, The Range, anywhere with beige paint and hope in a bottle. But the thing is, people meant well. It was cozy, it was cheerful, it was a way of saying, "I've got my life together," even if the washing machine was broken and the cat had just been sick on the rug. Somewhere right now, there's still a living room lit by fairy lights, smelling faintly of wax melts, with those three words watching over it, quietly judging, but in a loving sort of way.
Number 6. Seagulls stealing chips. There's no fear quite like the moment a seagull locks eyes with you mid-chip. Doesn't matter if you're in Brighton, Blackpool, or Scarborough. Once they've spotted that paper cone in your hand, it's over. They come in like fighter jets. No warning, just a flap, a scream, and suddenly you're standing there chipless, covered in salt and shame. And somehow, everyone around you pretends it's normal. Like this 6-pound ambush was part of the British seaside experience. You can try fighting back, but they don't care. They'll snatch chips out of a toddler's hand, knock over a pensioner's tea, and still have the nerve to scream at you afterwards, like you're the one who's crossed the line. Councils have tried signs, nets, even fake owls. Doesn't matter. These birds are organized. Somewhere, there's a seagull mafia running coastal towns, dividing up chip shops between them. And we just accept it. We keep buying chips, keep sitting on the promenade like brave idiots waiting to be mugged again. Because it's tradition. Because it's Britain. Number 7. Carpets in bathrooms. There was a time when people thought carpets in bathrooms were a sign of class, like real luxury. Forget tiles, what you needed was a nice thick bit of shag pile right up against the loo. Because nothing says comfort like stepping out of the bath onto a surface that's permanently slightly damp. You'd walk in and it always had that smell. Not bad exactly, but definitely lived in. The color never helped either. Always peach or pale blue or something called ocean mist that looked like mold by week 2. People defended it too. It's warmer on your feet, they'd say, as if that outweighed every other possible downside. You try to be polite, standing there barefoot, pretending you weren't slowly sinking into something spongy that used to be beige. And the worst bit? You couldn't clean it properly. You could hoover it, sure, but what then? Spray some Febreze and hope for the best? It's one of those decorating decisions that should have been illegal decades ago, but somehow you still find them, hidden in old houses like relics of a time when hygiene lost the argument to comfort. Number 8. Cheeky Nando's as a personality. Somehow, at some point, going to Nando's stopped being a meal and became a lifestyle. You didn't eat Nando's, you went for a cheeky Nando's. Always cheeky, never just normal. You'd hear it everywhere. What you up to tonight? Just a cheeky Nando's with the lads, like it was code for something rebellious, when really, it was just grilled chicken and a refillable Coke. It got out of hand for a while. People took photos of their plates like they discovered fine dining. Medium spice became a personality trait. Some even got defensive about their order, like you were insulting their heritage if you didn't rate peri-peri chips. But it stuck around because it's harmless, it's easy. A national comfort zone wrapped in brown paper and smugness. You don't go for the food, you go because saying cheeky Nando's makes you feel part of some massive inside joke the whole country's in on. And somehow, it never stopped being funny. You say it with a grin, even if you hate yourself a bit for it. That's the British way. Irony with extra hot sauce. Number 9. The obsession with the big light. No one really talks about it, but every British household has a rule. You do not turn on the big light. Ever. It hangs there dead center of the ceiling, bright enough to interrogate someone under, yet somehow completely forbidden. You walk into a living room, it's pitch black except for a side lamp the size of a mug, and everyone's fine with that. But flick that big light on, and suddenly you've committed a social crime. It's never explained. Parents just pass the rule down like folklore. Turn that off, it's too harsh. Too harsh for what? No one knows, but they're right. It's never the right vibe. We'll sit in mere darkness, squinting at our tea, claiming it's cozier this way. It's madness, really. There are countries where people eat dinner in proper lighting. We, on the other hand, would rather eat in a warm, dim haze than admit the big light might be useful. And that's Britain in a nutshell, isn't it? We fear change and brightness. Number 10. Weatherspoons carpets. You walk into any Weatherspoons and the first thing that hits you, after the smell of chips and faint regret, is the carpet. It's always loud, always patterned like someone designed it during a nervous breakdown. No two pubs have the same one. That's an actual fact. Each carpet is unique, designed specifically for that branch. Somewhere, there's a person whose full-time job was to invent new ways to make your eyes hurt while you eat a mixed grill. They're a national treasure in their own confusing way. Swirls, florals, things that look like galaxies or spilled curry, all woven together in glorious chaos. And somehow, it fits. A pint, a cheap meal, a floor that looks like it's hiding secrets. People collect photos of them now. Whole websites dedicated to Weatherspoons carpets, ranking them, naming favorites. Only in Britain could we turn something so ugly into a source of pride. You sit there with your 3-pound pint, staring at the floor and think, yeah, this is home.
Number 11. People still saying "safe bruv" in their 40s. There's something oddly comforting about hearing a grown man in a high-vis jacket greet his mate with "safe bruv," like slang that's refused to retire. You know he's got 2 kids, a mortgage, probably a bad knee, but still clings to 2006 like it's sacred ground. You'll see them everywhere, outside the corner shop, pint in hand, chatting about Mandem and Peng Tings while waiting for the school run. Their accent shifted a bit over the years, but the words never did. It's nostalgia disguised as coolness. They don't mean harm by it, it's just language that's stuck. Like the tracksuit years never fully wore off. It's part of their DNA now, a verbal time capsule of when life was simpler and trainers were everything. And honestly, you can't even be mad. It's daft, yeah, but it's also kinda sweet. The rest of us age out of our slang. They keep theirs alive through sheer commitment. Number 12. Putting ketchup on literally everything, including lasagna. It always starts the same way. You've spent an hour cooking, maybe longer, and just as you set the plate down, out comes that red squeeze of doom. A splat right on top. Doesn't matter what it is, roast dinner, curry, even lasagna. To them, it's all improved by ketchup. You try not to say anything at first. You tell yourself, it's their food, let it go. But you can't, because it's not just a condiment anymore. It's a statement. A declaration that no meal, however carefully made, can escape the tangy embrace of processed tomato. Kids, you can forgive. They don't know better. But grown adults? Watching someone drizzle ketchup over spaghetti bolognese feels like witnessing vandalism. Somewhere an Italian grandmother feels it in her soul. And the worst part is when they look proud of it. Just livens it up, they'll say, like they're Gordon Ramsay with a plastic bottle. But deep down, they know. We all know. Some things should be sacred, and lasagna is one of them. Number 13. Way! When someone smashes a glass in a pub. It's one of those noises that's burned into the national DNA. Someone drops a pint, it hits the floor, and before the glasses even stop rolling, way! Doesn't matter where you are. Fancy wine bar, football pub, airport Weatherspoons, same reaction every single time. 1 second silence, then a cheer like England has just scored. No one plans it. It just happens. Instinct. Pavlov's pint. The poor soul who dropped it
always looks mortified, trying to laugh it off while mopping up what's left of their drink. And the crowd, they love it. Everyone's suddenly part of the same joke. For a brief moment, strangers become teammates in the ancient sport of public humiliation. There's something oddly wholesome about it too. It's never cruel. It's the nation saying, "It's all right, mate. Could have been any of us." Then the bar staff sweep it up, a fresh pint appears, and the night rolls on like nothing happened. No country celebrates small disasters quite like Britain. Drop your glass, lose your dignity, but at least you'll get a round of applause for it. Number 14. Putting up Christmas decorations in mid-November. It starts earlier every year. You nip into Tesco for a pint of milk, and suddenly Fairy Tale of New York is blaring from the speakers, tinsel everywhere, and it's barely mid-November. You can almost feel the nation collectively sigh, then give in. Because we all act outraged at first, we say, "It's too soon." We shake our heads as we buy a box of mince pies, just in case. A week later, the tree's up, fairy lights in the window, and someone's already started a spreadsheet for Christmas dinner. There's something about it, though. The glow, the smell of fake pine, the sense that we've survived another year and deserve a bit of sparkle. 12-foot inflatable Santa in the garden, flashing lights that could land planes, the full North Pole experience before the advent calendars even opened. We moan about it, but secretly we love it. That mix of chaos and cheer. It's all very British, complaining about Christmas while quietly enjoying every bit of it. Number 15. The word "in it" at the end of every sentence. It sneaks into conversation before you even notice it. You're talking about the weather, or your dinner, or the price of petrol, and suddenly, "in it," like a full stop that can't sit still. "In it" started as slang, but now it's everywhere. Builders use it, teenagers use it, your aunt probably uses it when she's trying to sound casual. It's the great linguistic equalizer. One word doing the job of an entire dictionary. You'll hear it out in the wild, and it's almost musical. Bit cold, innit? That shop's shut now, innit? He's a good lad, innit? It doesn't even need to make sense half the time. It's punctuation with attitude. And somehow, it works. It softens statements, adds rhythm, makes people sound friendlier even when they're complaining. You can tell a lot about someone from their "in it." Long and lazy means relaxed. Quick and sharp means they're losing patience. It shouldn't work, but it does. It's chaotic, overused, and completely woven into how we talk. You can travel halfway across the world, but the moment someone says "in it," you know exactly where they're from.